We have some Detroit Lions news and rumors for you folks today, and in this video, we're breaking it all down. We're going to talk about some pre-draft visits, what it means for the Lions, because a lot of names are coming up. One very intriguing. Lions put an offer sheet and still do have for a backup quarterback, somebody that I mentioned before. And there is a big trade rumor going around with Jeff Okudah potentially be traded away. We're going to talk about for who, for what, and everything regarding that. But before we get into today's video, if you're not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button right now. Trying to get to 20 or 36,000 subscribers. Also, hit that like button if you can do so. It does help the channel out. Let's get into pre-draft visits here. First off, offensive line Darnell Wright visiting with the Detroit Lions. This is just another name, another lineman being connected to the Detroit Lions. It is clear to me at this point that the Lions are going to take an offensive lineman, and it could be early in this year's draft, potentially at 18. Hell, they may go potentially Peter Skoronski if they want to do even at a 6. I think that's probably not the case, but it just shows the Lions want to build that offensive line. Why is that? Big V, Graham Glasgow, right side, question marks. A lot of question marks. You get a guy in the draft, he can fill that guard spot, and if the future you want to move Panay to the left side, move the guard to the right side, you'd be good to go from that perspective. I do think it's important to get this offensive line done. I understand it's a strength, but at the same time, the last thing we need is Halapoulivaati Vaitai unable to play like he has shown, and we have an issue at the offensive line, and then the offense does not run efficiently because we got one spot not filled. So it's nice to see that the Lions are looking at this. I do believe that they take one within the first 2 rounds. It seems logical at this point. Let me know in the comments section below. Would you draft an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds? Why for yes and N for no? Let's continue on here and talk about another pre-draft visit. That is Hendon Hooker visiting with the Detroit Lions. It has been speculated, connected that him to the Detroit Lions through many beat writers like Jeff Risen and Dave Burkett. And the Lions have shown interest in him in the Senior Bowl. They spoke to him quite a bit of time, and it makes sense from what he brings from a quarterback into an offense. Very efficient, 70% completion percentage. Hendon Hooker makes sense to the Detroit Lions. The question will be, where will Hooker be drafted? I have a second-round grade on Hendon Hooker. That is my personal preference. I think if pick 55 is a logical spot for him to fall, due to the fact that there's some injury concerns because he got injured, and he's a little bit older, and I think that would be a nice spot for him. With that said, we've seen recent mock drafts, him potentially going to the Minnesota Vikings at 23. Is that just BS, or is it legit? Brad Holmes has really got to look at this, because if they really covet Hendon Hooker, you'd probably have to take him at pick 18. I think that's a little bit high for me, personally. But if they want to secure to get him, you'd have to probably do it there. Vikings is a team that would probably look to get it, and there's other teams as well that potentially could do it. We don't even know what's going on with the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe they could do it. They don't got the Lamar Jackson thing going on. So there's teams out there that could get him, and Hendon Hooker is a talented quarterback. He does bring composure, accuracy, leadership to that position. I understand he is older. I understand that there's an injury, but he's a damn good player. And just because he's older, you got to understand he does have a lot of experience in college. So it's not like he's getting a 13 game coming into the NFL. He's played the game quite a bit at that position at a high level. He could come in here, win healthy, and if Jared Goff gets injured, he can hold the fort down for a couple, drives or a game or two. So I think that is an option for the Lions right there. Interesting enough, Penasini signs with the Panthers. That's weird. I didn't even realize he got released. It's like a month ago. I didn't even realize he's on the team. But John Penasini, unretired, he's going to Carolina Panthers with Deuce Staley and the Carolina Lions as they're trying to become Detroit, Carolina over there for that football team. So that's an interesting one for sure. Teddy Bridgewater has been connected to the Detroit Lions. The Lions have given him a good offer sheet. He's weighing his decision to become a Detroit Lion. I've said this about a month and a half ago, that the Lions were interested in Teddy Bridgewater. They went and signed Sudfeld. But guess what? Apparently they're not sold on Sudfeld to be the guy. So we'll see if Teddy Bridgewater becomes. It makes a ton of sense for Bridgewater to be a backup quarterback for the Lions. He has a lot of starting experience. I think he fits well in the scheme. And it's not a situation where it's Tua here, where Jared Goff is injured all the time. That's not the case at all. Jared Goff is an Iron Man, and I think if the Lions were to sign Teddy Bridgewater, if he needed to be in a pinch for a couple drives or a game, I think that would be fine. Plus, our offensive line is really good. And we're trying to compete, win the NFC North, win a playoff game. So securing the backup quarterback position is an important piece for the Lions, because the last thing you need is to lose one game because of a quarterback and then you don't make a playoff or you lose a playoff or something like that. So let me know in the comment section right now, would you go ahead and sign Teddy Bridgewater? Put Y for yes and N for no. Let me know in the comments below on this one. I would do it just depending the offer sheet. We haven't seen what type of deal they sent out there. I'm not trying to do a $7 million deal or anything like that. But, you know, a decent backup quarterback position and contract is exactly what I think the Lions should do. And I think that would be perfect for the position that we are at in with the Teddy Bridgewater. So we'll see. You know, I think it would be a smart move. We have a rumor here, interesting rumor, and this comes from Fan Nation over there, that the Detroit Lions are rumored to be trading or looking to trade Jeff Okudah to the Los Angeles Rams for a third-round draft pick. Why does this make sense? Obviously, because we signed Gardner Johnson, we signed Sutton, Mosley, we got Jerry Jacobs, and they could look into the draft and get even better at the cornerback position, whether it be at 18, second or third round, and you have a full cornerback room. Jeff Okudah's money is quite a bit. The Lions are probably not picking up his fifth-year option, so it makes a ton of sense for them to go and trade them. Now, here it says for a third-round draft pick. I honestly think that would be great. I didn't think initially that the Lions would get a high draft pick, like a third round for Jeffrey Okudah, because he hasn't really shown anything. He hasn't done anything since he's been a Detroit Lion. He's regressed. Well, he started out hot last year and then regressed. But if we can get a third-round pick from the Los Angeles Rams, that would be absolutely ideal. It would be, because if you're not going to keep Jeff Okudah here for the long haul, and he's not going to be starter, why the hell do you have him here? Why are you going to pay this man this type of money, and he's not going to be seeing playing time? Doesn't make any sense. If you decided to go in a different direction, then go ahead, cut the losses, trade him away, start over, get another corner in the draft that you would like to have for this football team. There's no reason to keep him on this team if it's not going to be in the works going forward. It just isn't. So go ahead and look to draft him. It makes sense. I wonder if when this trade potentially could happen, would it be before the NFL draft or after? Because maybe the Rams want to keep their draft picks this year. So that could be something that the Lions would look to get a draft pick in 2024 instead of 2023. That is definitely an option for them, because, hey, we need more picks next year just as much as we do this year. So we'll see what happens there. What do you guys think about trading away Jeffrey Okudah? Let me know in the comment section right now. Would you trade away Jeff Okudah? Put T for trade or P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm for it if you're going to get a third round pick. That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, folks. We got videos dropping here every single day. Getting on that. We'll get back to the better graphics. When it's feeling a little bit better, we'll do that. And we'll break you all the latest Lions news and rumors regarding our Detroit Lions. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Live show on Thursday. With that said, folks, adios.